I'm Tina, the creative guru with Gems, Paper, Scissors, and I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. Today, we are doing the left-hand page of our Peaceful Days Scrapbooking Workshop Kit. Tomorrow, I will be back to do another live at 5 to do the right-hand side. I have done a tiny bit of prep work. As you know, the instructions include what photos are suggested, cutting guides for all of the pieces, what to do to prepare for the pages, and how to assemble. And with the assembly pages, there is a faint one that tells you distancing or spacing and the piece numbers, which are marked on our cutting guides. And then there's the darker example. So without further ado, I'm going to clear out some of my mess. I've got most everything prepped and ready to rock and roll. So this is going to be a fairly fast project, I hope. So this says to start with the exclusive Secret C paper, and it's slightly different. There's a little bit of flecky, almost water spot spaces. And I am going to adhere number 2A to the base, which is the leaves. If I was looking at directions, I would have made sure to cut it correctly, but honestly, it works for this page for me to be a little bit off kilter. I am enjoying doing some layouts of my grand pups for this holiday. And so this particular layout is nothing but my little monster Pern. He is now a big whopping 5-year-old baby, and he is all about the playful get into mischiefs. So I have already printed, cut, and adhered to my 2B base, just like so. This one should have been a 4x4, but I really didn't like it printed that large, so it's a little bit smaller, and that also works for this layout for me because of the way that the embellishments are going to be placed on it. It will cover up a little bit less of my photo, and I eyeball an awful lot, so I'm just going to eyeball this on. If I was really particular, I would have made sure these points lined up better with the corner piece, like so. Okay. Now it says to adhere the pieces 2C and 2D. The prepared that I have not done yet is to add a flagging, or also known as the chevron cuts. And I am just going to do that with you today. Okay, that's these two pieces. And the way I chevron or flag is I go up the middle and then meet from the corners, just like so. I apologize for my off-kilter little lighting today. The sun is blaring on through my window, but it is a glorious thing this wintry day. So honestly, as much as it may challenge our view, I'm not complaining. I love all of the seasons, and so I can move my scissors out of the way. I always cap off my snips. Not all scissors come with a cap, but I work with small humans, so I really like being able to cap it off and keep my kids happier and safer. So this is going to go right about here, and it butts right up to this photo. Okay. And then this piece goes just like so. And it overlaps just a micro speck. Okay. Just like so. And that helps that viewpoint. Now comes our good times. And I'm going to put this down with some dimensionals. I like having some pop on my layouts, and this is going to allow that. Definitely going to add a little bit in the middle, and that should do her. Because I am going to be tucking a few embellishments into the background. Some stickers, a couple of the die cuts, and you're going to see this is going to be super fun and gorgeous. So we're going to just kind of center this in. Again, I eyeball just like so. Move that. Okay, so now up in this corner, there's a little leaf and 3 little flowers. So we're going to do this. Okay. I'm going to say these little flowers, a small, a medium, and there we go. I've got 3 different sizes now. So we're going to take this one and apply it with a dimensional and put it right there. Then we're going to grab the medium size one and also do a dimensional. I think all of the flowers are pretty much going to be dimensionaled up in this corner. I'm going to just stack that just a little bit higher. And then I should have a little double leaf. So I'm going ahead and add this like so. And then we're going to grab this larger flower and dimensional that up and add it there. I think I like it a little bit further down. There we go. Much, much better. Okay, now I have several flowers for down below. I have some different sizes in here. And a few little sprigs of leaves. So we're going to keep my tape runner and we're going to grab a few of these leaves. I've got a larger one that should be overhanging like so. And this is part of why I did not mind having this photo a little bit smaller, because I really don't want to cover all of it. But I do like that it has some options there. Then we'll add a dimensional to a tiny little flower to accent over here. And we're going to grab a larger one that we're going to tuck like so. Let's see. We'll slide that under. And then I've got another tiny one right there to tuck in. Typically, if I don't have a lot of my dies, I can always trim them down. Like this, I could have totally done with fewer flowers, right? But I just want some of these little flowers poking out through. Okay, helps pull the eye. And then down here, I'm going to add another couple sprigs. I'm going to do a double leaf down here. And then I'm going to do a single leaf right there. Just like so. And that, I think, finishes up all of my stickers for this particular layout. Now I've got some little brown sprigs that are also dies. And I'm just going to tape runner over these off to the side so that I can quickly add these in. Gonna do one up here, and then we'll grab one and slide it way under, so just tiny tips hanging out. And then we're gonna do one right about here. And then we're gonna, oops, sorry about that. Then we're gonna finalize a couple flowers down here, and those are going to be done with dimensionals. So there's one and two, and that finishes up the die cut flowers for the left hand side. And at this point, the layout says that we're pretty much done, but I would like to add just the teeny tiniest little amount of bling. So I'm going to take my Charming Shimmer Faceted Dots again, and my Take Your Pick tool, and lift some of these off to put as flower centers. I'm going to grab some big ones for down here, and up here, and then another big one for a medium-sized flower, and the small ones for the small flowers. I'm just quickly doing this, right? You could stop earlier, or you can add some rhinestones. You could add faceted gems. You could take your Wink of Stella and add just the tiniest bit of sparkle to your layout. Lickety split, just like that. So I hope you enjoyed working on our left-hand page. I will be back tomorrow with our right-hand side of layout 2. I hope you enjoyed, crafty friends, and until next time, find